Okay, we found another plant in a shady spot, and I can hear some water running. There's a creek nearby, and this is the perfect shady mountain habitat where you will find this plant that we are now looking at down here. And this plant is called false starry Solomon seal. And you've probably heard of the name Solomon seal before. That's a plant that grows in the east. And this plant closely resembles it, but it's not really it. And so it's called false Solomon seal. And it has some medicinal uses, but let's talk about what it looks like. So this plant has parallel veins. If you look at the leaves, let's look at the leaf structure first. If you can pan in on that, the leaves are side by side, called parallel, which makes it a monocot versus a dicot. And if you look at how the leaves are arranged up the stem, they alternate on one side and then the other, one side and the other. So that is an alternate leaf arrangement. And then there's one other interesting thing about the leaves, and I'm going to show you on this plant that's growing right next to it. This leaf is called a clasping leaf because it comes straight out of the stem and kind of wraps around it a little bit. Some leaves don't do that. Like this leaf over here, I don't know what this particular plant is, but you see those little stems, those pedicles that come off from the main stem? That's one type of leaf. So that is different than on your false Solomon seal, which has your clasping alternate leaf arrangement. The other thing that it has in its name is starry. And it's starry because the flowers are just in bloom now. Oh, well, can you reach that one? If you pan in on that, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little tiny white petals going around making a little star. And come way in close up to that sweet little starry flower. So this is starry false Solomon seal is the name of this. So in a shady environment near water is where you'll find this plant. And it's somewhat demulcent and cooling and wet, and it's also used for digestive complaints, and the root is used, and not the top. This is your identifying feature. You would be digging up the root, and you'd have to have a large amount of these growing in one area to even attempt to wildcraft a root, or it would be very unethical to take these plants right here. And it's good for the stomach, and it's also been used for throat complaints to help coughs. And like I said, it's moisturizing. And the Eastern Solomon seal is used in a similar manner. But so this is starry Solomon seal. There's another variety that has wider leaves that isn't growing right here, but it also grows around in this environment in the west, in the Rockies, and it's just called false Solomon seal. And the leaf arrangement is larger, but it still has your parallel veins, and the flowers look a little different. But they're very distinctive plants. They really stand out from things, so they're easy to identify once you've been introduced. So that is the information I have for you at the moment on Solomon seal. In the Convalariaceae family, it's called. And the botanical name is Marianthemum stellatum. And here again in my trusty little book is a picture of the false Solomon seal with the starry tiny little flowers. And right next to it is a broader leaf, larger flowered, regular false Solomon seal. So there's two varieties that grow in the West. And that's my talk on Solomon seal.